What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, Panthers Advice. Today, man, we're going to talk about the first preseason game against the Patriots. Believe it or not, there was some good, even though we only put up 3 points. Lost by 14, but there's some good, there's some bad, and there was some ugly, man. Let's jump into the video. So let's jump into the good, because believe it or not, there was some good. The first player that comes to mind is Eku Leota. I believe I'm saying that right. He lined up on the left side and the right side of the ball for the first 3 quarters. And he was getting pressure every 2 or 3 plays. Consistently. Nobody else was on the defensive line, the linebackers going into blitz. Nobody was getting pressure like Eku Leota. So, to me, he stood out on defense. Offensively, man, nobody really stood out per se, other than Jaden Sheridan, the rookie back who came in towards the end. He stood out. Now, here's where I'm a little frustrated, but I have to remember it is preseason. Mike Boone, the running back who's almost 30, played the whole first half. Now, I get Dave is worried about injuries, but to play Boone, who's, I think, 29, the whole first half, and not give any more reps to Dylan Johnson, not give any reps to Jaden Sheridan, was a tad frustrating because I'm like, okay, you know, Miles most likely is on the team no matter what. Chuba's on the team no matter what. Raheem most likely is on the team no matter what because Jonathan Brooks is on IR. In that case, let Dylan prove themselves. Mike Boone's 29. You know what you're getting out of him. Let Jaden or Dylan step in and try and do something. Let them earn their spot. To play Mike Boone the whole first half, I was literally frustrated because I'm like, okay, we know we're going to with Mike Boone. 2 to 4 yards every carry. Now, there was one time on a stretch where he took it out and he got about 10 yards. Nothing against Mike Boone, but you know what kind of back he is. Let's see what Dylan Johnson, let's see what the rookie Jaden Sheridan can do. That had me a little frustrated. So the good part was Jaden showed some promising signs, and then Eku Leota on the defensive side, he was a beast all game. Now let's talk about the bad. This one's hard because there's blame to go around everywhere, if you ask me. One, we'll start with the obvious, the drops. First drive, you got Jack out there slinging the thing. TMJ drops it, Mingo drops it. Oh my. That's how we're starting off the season. You know, I think TMJ's was a little bit out there, and I think Mingo's hit him in his chest. If I have them wrong, let me know. But that's how we start off the season. I mean, yes, it was pouring. But man, the one to Mingo hits him right in his chest, and we're dropping that. And then it only got worse because I think Jack got in his head. And to me, Jack he moves a little bit slow. What am I talking about, man? You guys know what time it is.
Comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
So with Jack, it's hard to grade, okay? Because Dave talked about what all season long. Dave preached 2.5 seconds or less to get the ball out. Now, what I liked about Jack was his footwork. He was patient in the pocket. However, 3 to 4 seconds go by, he's still sitting like this. Multiple times. Offensive line did their job. I won't say perfect, but they did a pretty damn good job against the Patriots defensive line. Patriots had some athletes out there on their front 7. Offensive line, if you ask me, I give him 8.5 out of 10. But with Plummer, 3 to 4 seconds go by, he's still sitting like this. No mental awareness what's going on around him. You know what, Dave, I thought we were preaching that timer to everybody. So, if you ask me, that was a little frustrating. The positive things to take away from Jack, though, you know, great footwork, kept his hips open, very patient in the pocket. For the most part, he made the right reads. And the other thing, which I'm not 100% sure on yet, but something I noticed in training camp in this past game, is when he throws the ball, it's almost like he doesn't 100% fully commit to letting that thing rip. Like if you watch him play, you see him, he looks good in the pocket, right? He lets it rip. However, when that ball comes out, and check the film if you don't believe me, I feel like we're only getting 60 to 70% of how fast that ball actually is. And what I mean by that is when he's throwing it, it looks like that ball's in slow motion, to be honest. You see Plummer drop back, let it rip, and it's like the ball is just taking its time getting there. Goes back to what yesterday I did a video on. Plummer in training camp, threw it up to Coker. And I felt like he just kind of just threw it, right? Didn't get enough height on it, didn't get enough oomph on it. Something I saw consistently today. He makes the right reads. He's patient in the pocket. But I just feel like he has way more in that throw. Let me know what you guys think. Let's get back to this thing. So we talked a little bit about the running back situation. You know, I wanted to see, ideally, Dylan Johnson get more reps. I wanted to see Jaden get more reps before, the end of the third quarter, fourth quarter. That would have been nice. I would have liked to have seen Jake Luton in there, to be honest. I mean, Plummer needed to go out. I think he was in his head too much anyway. I think at the end of the third quarter, you saw him scramble. The timer did come back into his head, but I would have liked to see Luton get some reps. Receivers, I mean, it's hard to say because it was raining, you know, for them to run routes. Couple drops, and actually there was a few. So there's not a lot I'm going to go in on that because it was raining and everything else. That's why I'm not going to go too hard on Plummer as well because the weather wasn't great, and it was his first game. Offensive line, I'm telling you, I'm giving them an 8.5 out of 10. I'm giving those boys an 8.5 out of 10. Jordan Matthews, tight end, I thought he did pretty good for what he was given. Defensive line, a little disappointed if I'm being honest. I thought we had pretty good depth there. Didn't get a lot of pressure, except for Eku. Eku, he did his thing. As far as linebackers, I'm going to have to go back and watch the tape. You know, DJ Johnson, I watched him whenever he'd come in off the edge. Didn't see a lot. Trevin Wallace, I'm going to have to see how he did in coverage. Let's talk about the defensive backs. There's one that scares me, and his name is Deshaun Jamison, the same guy who should have been called twice for PI against TMJ in training camp. He just plays too risky, and he does not have that speed to play like that, if you ask me. He just plays too risky, and I believe two of their biggest catches for the Patriots were against Jamison. I thought Boodle did pretty good. Lamar, you know, a couple times there were some runs that got by him, but for the most part, he didn't seem to make any really mistakes. It was really just Jamison from what I saw. Boodle, there was a couple times. Now, the Patriots receivers are no joke. But Jamison just plays like a Marcus Peters-esque, but he's not Marcus Peters. He's just not. So we'll see if that changes. Because, like I said before, if J.C. Horn gets hurt, we're screwed. Right? I've said it all off season, and I'll continue to say it. I'm shocked we didn't trade for more in the offseason or draft. Trade up in the draft to get some cornerback or safety. Now, yes, I know we brought in Dane Jackson. We brought in a safety too, go with Xavier Woods, but we need depth at that position. Front seven, I think, is good when the starters go in, but we need depth. So, with that being said, my overall grade for the first game, I don't know, D+ when it's all said and done. A lot of penalties. I think only 2 third-down conversions. I mean, not good. You know, there's blame to go around everywhere except the offensive line. I thought they played pretty good given the conditions, the rain, quarterback, receivers dropping, you know, having Mike Boone in there for the first 2.5, 3 quarters. Offensive line, give them MVP of the game for offense, and then Eku, MVP on defense. With that being said, there's a lot of film coming as well. We're going to see how Plummer actually did. Look at the tape, Jaden Sheridan, Eku, figure out how did he get so much pressure compared to everybody else, and go from there. I'll catch you guys on the next video, man. The season is finally back. It may be a long one. Stay tuned.